Let me see if I can get an echo going. Shalom lekulam and welcome to Tales of the Negev. I am your host Alexander Griffith, and it's a beautiful day here in the Dead Sea Valley, and today I'm going to ascend Masada. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the story of Masada, Masada is a mountain fortress that in its time was the last stand of the Jewish people against the Roman Empire. You see, in the year 70 AD, the Romans came to Jerusalem to quell the rebellion amongst the Jewish people, and they destroyed, after laying siege to the city, and they ransacked the second temple and leveled everything to the ground. But those of the Jews who escaped fled to this mountain here, and there they had shelter in the fortress. But then the Romans came and laid siege here once again for many, many weeks, and they built a ramp up this mountain trying to get to the Jews. But the Romans never took the Jews alive, because they tragically ended their lives so that they wouldn't be taken into the custody of the Romans. And so that's the significance of this fortress and this mountain. And shortly we'll be able to see the ruins of this Masada fortress, as they say in Hebrew. And we'll take a look at the historical implications and see the view from the top of the mountain.
Encore quelques marches.
Alright everyone, I've made it, and boy was it a long and arduous trek. Lots of sweat, aching bones, but it was worth it. I mean, the view from here is so incredible, and the archaeology that lays at the top of this mountain is so incredible that we have to go through it and see what we can find. Let's go! And so when the Jews were up here on Masada, seeking refuge, they had little homes where they dwelled as rebels and enemies of the Roman Empire. And here are the walls, the remains of some of these households. Pretty incredible to be walking through here because a long time ago, almost 2,000 years ago, there were people living within the vicinity here. Alright, now let's get ourselves situated in the world. What you see beyond there, that's the country of Jordan, where you see the tall mountains. Yes, that's the eastern bank of the Dead Sea, which you see over here. This is the northern part of the Dead Sea, and here there used to be a sort of peninsula, but because the Dead Sea is slowly drying up, it has turned into a sort of isthmus between the two land masses here. And here we have the lower Dead Sea, which is the part that's slowly drying up, and they have these large barriers that go across the lower Dead Sea to use it for harvesting salt, for marketing, and using for selling salt, of course, for consumption. But also it helps prevent the Dead Sea from drying up too fast. And down here you can see there's a little canyon, and that's because of erosion. When there was more water here in the Dead Sea, it carved out through the limestone and created some small little canyons. And of course down there, that's the parking area down there, and that's the visitor center. And here we have what's called a mikveh, or a Jewish ritual bath area. It's important for the Jewish people to remain clean, especially in the presence of the Lord. And cleanliness also helps with hygiene, of course. But you can see that there are little pockets here in the rock, and an area where water once flowed through. And what you see here is the western side of Masada. Many hills rolling up thousands of feet in the air from the caverns and the canyon below, leading up to the Negev desert beyond. here we have a public immersion pool where the people can come and refresh themselves from the scorching heat of the sun up here in Masada. What you see here is a mosaic that was created by Byzantine monks who settled here during the 5th century. They found that this place was a place of comfort and tranquility, so they created this church here and made it very ornate with designs in the rock face. Must have been beautiful during its time. All around Masada you can see these lines that form sort of squares and barriers. These are remains from the Roman camps when they were laying siege to the Jewish rebels, and it is incredible that they're still here today. And so this concludes our endeavoring trek of Masada. I hope you enjoyed it, as this is my last episode I'm going to make here in Israel. I hope that you've enjoyed and loved my episodes, and that they've inspired you to go to Israel and check them out for yourself. And don't forget to go to the Negev. It's the best place in the country. And so, until my next endeavors around the world, I will see you then.